All right. Is this which episode is this? 4th episode. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, hello and welcome to our 4th episode of the Rustbelt Hippies Knitcast. Today is February 2nd. It is Groundhog's Day, and Puxatawny Phil has announced that spring will be coming early.
Yeah, right.
He is like 32% accurate on all of his guesses throughout the year, so I definitely trust his judgment.
Sure, totally.
Yeah. So, hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Larissa from Cleveland.
And I am Christina from Detroit. And I run Bone & Birch, which is a natural dye yarn shop. And Larissa, you run Fuzzy Green Fibers. And yeah, we're best knit buddies.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hello, welcome back. Or welcome if you're new. Thank you for tuning in.
We live in the Rust Belt. So we're a bit industrial, but we're trying to be more hippie-like.
Mm-hmm.
We try. Anyway, this is our knitcast.
Is. So, what do we want to talk about first? We want to talk about whips first? Talk about FOs?
We can start with what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
It's an FO.
It is. It's been in your needles for a while, too, so yeah. The labor of love.
I started swatching for this before my 15-month-old was born. Almost 16 months. And I think I cast it on officially when he was like 1 month old. But that was November of 2018. So it's done now.
It's beautiful.
This is the Go-To Raglan by Steve and West. And it's a worsted-ish kind of weight. He like wrote it so that you can hold 2 fingering weight yarns together and marl it and fade it and whatever and use it as a stash buster. So it's 20 stitches over 4 inches is the gauge, so whatever you want to use to get that. Mm-hmm. But here, let me get up so you can see.
The colors you picked are so cute. I love especially like the turquoise at the bottom.
Yeah. So these were some of my very first forays into dyeing. This top one is silver and the bottom one is Zora Sapphire. Which,
okay.
Yeah, this is a retired color. There's still a couple of them in the shop right now, but I made a couple of mods. This is supposed to be a folded over collar, but I just cast on normally and didn't do the fold over because it's such a thick weight. I didn't want it to be that puffy. I didn't opt to do the extra long cuff with the thumb hole, which is an option on there. I just did 4 inches here. I did it a bit cropped. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit cropped and it's a little bit oversized on me, so it's a bit sweatshirty. And the biggest mod I did was that the right side is reverse stockinette. It's supposed to be normal stockinette on the outside.
Oh, I didn't realize you had modded it that way. I thought it was written to be a reverse stockinette.
No, so what I did was knit it inside out. So when I did the transition between the ribbing and the rest of it, I switched to the new yarn and did a purl row so that there's no yucky gobbledygook between the transition. And I did, so on the other side, which was the side I was knitting on for the raglan, I don't know if you can see, but these, I purled the raglan thingies so that it's the knit raglan line on the right side.
I like that detail. It's nice.
Yeah. I saw somebody do it reverse stockinette, and I think she just kind of turned it inside out, but I wanted the raglan line to look like it does in normal stockinette. I like it, and I faded 4 different colors of single ply merino. It's one of the bases that I carry now, but I'm going to stop carrying it soon. And the other one, I held it together with the same one throughout. It was something that I bought from somebody called Recycled Yarn Company. She unravels sweaters from like thrift stores and like cleans them and sells them like that, just because nobody's going to love them again as the ugly sweater that they are. So
Mm-hmm.
I repurposed it. And
Very nice.
the two ones in the middle, this one and this one, are ones that me and Scotty dyed with Kool-Aid.
Aww.
I feel like oversized, like a little bit funky sweaters are sort of in right now. Like
Yeah, they totally are.
Like knitwear is kind of in at the moment, so I can actually wear it out of the house. Unlike a lot of Stephen West's patterns that are just really wacky.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely very imaginative. There's some that I've looked at and I'm like, I don't know if I could even wrap my head around how to knit that.
Like they're probably a lot of fun to knit, and they're pieces of art, but I don't think I would wear them as part of my wardrobe. I don't know that they're wearable, and even if they are like a normal shaped garment, a lot of them are just too busy, and even if you use a muted palette, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this one I figured I could make semi boring for me.
It's very cute.
My girl.
Like a cat.
She's just going to sit on my lap because she enters barnacle mode and refuses to get off. So you're not wearing knitwear at the moment.
I'm not. No, I wore some last night, but not today. It's just, it's warmer out, so I'm like, it's too warm for wearing knitwear right now.
I'm a little bit sweaty.
Yeah.
Fine. Should I go through the rest of my FOs, or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
So I don't think I showed this as an FO last time. I think I was still working on it.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a cowl that I made for my 4-year-old. It's been damaged already because he wears it every day, but this is the DK BRIOCHE bandana cowl by LAVANYA PATRICELLA. So I made it to match the mittens that I made for him.
Mm-hmm.
So this dark blue is my BFL DK, and then this speckled is something that I got from a fiber share package. But he likes blue.
It's very cute. Would you knit it again?
Yes. My husband wants one, so I probably will have to. And it comes in, I think, 3 different weights. I think fingering, DK, and worsted.
Mm-hmm.
I know she has a bulky one. I don't think it's the bandana shape. I think she just has a bulky, just like straight tube brioche cowl. Okay. So if you want like an intro to brioche kind of pattern, that'd be a good one to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nice because there's no dangling bits. He can just throw it on over his head and zip up his coat.
Yeah, it's perfect for little kids. The whole concept of like wrapping a scarf is a lot and keeping it on.
Yeah, so he loves it. That's that. This is a sock that I made entirely on my circular sock machine. I have an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster circular sock machine. And yeah, this is yarn from Hugh Loco in her Backyard Chickens collection. This was the blue laced red Wyandotte, I think. Or is it? It's either blue laced red Wyandotte or red laced blue Wyandotte. It's one of the two. So it came with this skein is the main one, and then 2 20-gram minis. So I did a little red detail at the top of the cuff here, and then blue heel and a red toe, and I have plenty to make another pair of socks for myself. I use a 60 stitch circumference for my socks, so they're relatively smaller. But yeah, they're super cute. And I didn't weave in the ends yet, but we're calling it a finished object anyway.
It's fine. The ends are on the inside. Nobody sees them.
Yeah, I really love how this knit up.
Yeah, I love the red and the baby blue together, or the robin zig kind of color.
It's not like self-striping, but it did kind of sort of spiral micro stripe.
Very cute.
Yes. So that was just a little selfish knit. And I finished these for my husband. This was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but December was rough in terms of getting anything done. So they're done now, about a month later. So this yarn, this gray and the olivey green is blacker yarns, mohair blends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the heel toe and cuff are, this is mine. This is the high twist merino sock. And it's very plump and dense. This is my favorite yarn for socks that I carry. And then I hand knit this. Everything else was done on my sock machine. And I hand knit this, and I entered it into our knit along that we had going on Ravelry that just ended yesterday, the 1st of February. Today's the 2nd. I'm not eligible for winning any prizes, so I don't know that this would have counted because it was everything but the cuff was done. But yeah, my husband likes them, although the cuff ended up super floppy.
Oh.
I'm not sure why. I have several pairs of socks that I have this exact same cuff on, and it didn't get floppy on mine, so I don't know why. But he likes them. He's been wearing them a lot. They could probably use a bath. But they're done. So I had 4 finished objects, if 2 of them count.
They count.
Yeah, they count. I finished them.
Yeah, you did.
I moved them to completed on my Ravelry project pages, so.
And it's official, then they count.
Okay, that concludes my finished objects.
All right. So I have a couple of things. I also made a bandana cowl. And I have a couple of things to mention about this. So this is the PURL SOHO bandana cowl. And this is done in a skein of Jacob's wool, like the sheep breed Jacob's, that my husband bought me for Christmas from a farm here in Michigan called Splendid Spotted Sheep. They have an Etsy page, but it's currently on vacation mode right now. But this is like, I love Jacob's. It's so soft and squishy and wonderful. There was tons of vegetable matter in it, which used to really drive me nuts, but now I don't mind it so much because I like pulling them out and thinking like, oh, this is like what the sheep ate and grew this wool for me and rolled around it, and now I get these little like treasures that I get to keep from it. So that's what I try to think of it as now. I haven't blocked it yet, but I do want to talk about something. So you can probably tell the very bottom, my stitches are twisted, unlike the top. Now, I am a continental knitter, and I've noticed this on projects before where I've had to work it flat because the bottom is done in short rows until you get to like the widest point, and then it's just regular stockinette. So because of the way that I purl, I wrap the yarn clockwise around the needle as opposed to counterclockwise. So when I pull it through, it twists the stitch. And so when I turn it and knit it, the stitch is not set right on the needle. It's set, it's basically set Eastern style. So now I have realized when I knit things flat, I have to knit them Eastern style. I have to knit through the back loop in order to untwist the stitch if I'm going to knit something flat. Now I knit flat things like maybe 20% of the time, hardly never. I'm in the round kind of knitter because it just goes so much faster. But I realized that halfway through, I stopped and spent an hour looking up to see what the hell I was doing wrong, why it was looking like that, and figured it out and then corrected it so that the top of it looks nice. Just that bottom part that looks a little janky. But, I mean, you learn. I've only been knitting for a little over a year, so it's fine. It's not that bad. There are bigger mistakes I could have made. But I really like this pattern, and I'm definitely going to knit it again. You sent me a skein of your yarn that I'm going to make you a shop sample for one of these. I pulled out like 10 skeins of yarn. I just want to make a bunch of these and give them away to people because I love them. And they're nice to just have to pull down and run out the door during the winter with. So, yeah.
I love that. I've made that before, and it's such a good little pattern.
It is. I knit it in a day, so it really didn't take long at all. You can knit it in like bulky or worsted weight. Bulky or worsted. So this is my second finished object. This was for a KAL we just ran. It was a 2-week long KAL. This is the Soundtrack COWL by Elizabeth Smith. It is done with 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn, and it's slip stitch, or mosaic knitting is also what it's called right now. So I haven't blocked this yet either. I usually kind of wait until I have a bunch of things that need to be blocked at once, then do them all at once. It is opposed to doing them one at a time. So this will get blocked soon, but this is a KAL I made for myself because I do not have one. I made one for my husband and daughter in December, so this was my present to me, more selfish knitting, but I'm very happy with it. It's super cozy, and I know once I block it, it'll stretch out a little bit more, so it'll be nice. But yeah, I like had to restrain myself on knitting this because I didn't want it to go too fast. I was trying to like make it last the duration of the 2 weeks that our KAL ran. And speaking of which, we had a finished objects thread on our Ravelry group for the Soundtrack COWL KAL, and we had one entry other than my own, so Serena Wood is her Ravelry name. She get you.
She didn't like it, what I was doing.
So Serena is the winner of our KAL prize for this, so I'm going to send her a message about it, but I'm going to send her a skein of my naturally dyed worsted weight yarn and a pattern of Elizabeth Smith's, whichever one she would like to choose. I will gift that to her, and that will be her prize for the knit along.
Yeah. We had 2 knit alongs end.
Yes.
The Soundtrack one ended on the 31st of January, and the Natural Sock knit along ended yesterday on the 1st of February. So we had another winner, another 1 entry knit along, which is fine.
Yeah.
And the winner is Evie, and she gets to choose any of my sock sets from Fuzzy Green Fibers shop.
Oh.
I have 3 different bases available right now. I have a lot actually still in stock. But yeah, they're 3 different bases and lots of different colors. They're all non-superwash and they're all good for socks. My favorite is the High Twist merino sock. It's super plump and dense for socks. Yeah. The other 2 are great. They're like more soft and drapey. They still work great. I have socks made out of them and they're holding up fine. But congratulations.
Yay! Hooray to our winners. Thank you for joining in on our first 2 KALs. So it was fun.
Yes. So I guess that can kind of segue. Oh, no, wait, you have another.
I have one more. Yep,
okay.
Last one.
Sorry, failed segue.
This was another KAL we were running, very informal one. It was our Christmas Day cast on, and Larissa and I both knit the Color Craze shawl. So I finished mine, and I really enjoyed knitting it. It was my first foray into brioche, which I really like. I'm going to do that again. This is all knit out of naturally dyed and undyed yarn. It's Falkland Merino from Hook and Light.
It's soft.
It really is. I love it. If I could find this base, I would buy the heck out of it and dye it and offer it as well because I love it. Yeah, I love this shawl too. It's really nice. It was really engaging. It's fun to knit. By the end, it's almost 400 stitches long, so like the rows take a while to get through. And I started running out of skeins. Like not running out of skeins from the advent. I still have like enough I could do another shawl with probably, but I tried to use all the pink ones in this one, and I started running out. So you can see the last couple of rows are made out of ends from the sections down here where I didn't use the whole color in that specific section. So it's a little bit of a variegated look at the end, but this was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Once you finish a section, you wanted to like keep knitting to the next one. I like to repeat knit things. So like if I knit it once, I like to knit it knit a second one or a third one. So I probably will end up knitting another one of those because I really enjoyed it.
That'd be really fun to do in super vibrant colors too.
Yeah, it would be. I'm trying to think of like what colors I would do it in next time. So I'm going to sit and think about it at first because this one's pretty neutral, even though it is colored. It's pink, but it's very neutral still. So
yeah, but that knit along is still going through the 25th of March. Yep. So if you want to join now, you still have almost 2 months.
Yeah. I think I knit mine in like 3 weeks, so it went really quick. It's It's really enjoyable. It's easy to do.
Yeah, so I'm still working on mine, so join me and whoever else. And there's more prizes in all of our knit-alongs, so.
Yeah, there are. We haven't announced prizes for everything yet because some of them are still determining, but we do plan to have prizes for all of them.
Indeed. So, does that conclude your FOs?
That's all of them.
All right. You did a lot.
I have a couple. I tried. I was trying. Like January, I was trying to just knit and not do anything else.
I know. Well, while we're talking about the color craze, I'll show mine. Mine's in progress. Still going. It's probably half-ish way through it, but as you said, the rows keep getting longer and longer, so take it.
That's good. You chose much darker colors for the middle of yours, I think, or our lighting is different.
I know. I think the ones that I have left are a lot of the super light ones. But we'll see. This is what's up next. This is what I'm working with now. Yeah, it'll turn a bit more peachy and tan, a little bit of yellow. But we'll see how many minis I end up needing to use to finish it. As you said, there's plenty left, and I'll probably make a pair of socks with what I have left over.
Yeah.
Which they probably won't be terribly hard wearing socks since the yarn is so soft, but I have a pair of super soft socks that I haven't like blown a hole through them or anything, and they're just so comfortable because they're so soft. They like conform to your foot really well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. While we're talking about knit-alongs, well, why don't I do this one last?
Okay, yeah. That one we started. We'll talk about it.
I'll do this one. I shouldn't have started this, but I really wanted to, so I did. This is the Mid-Coast by Jennifer Steingass. It is a fingering weight, colorwork, circular yoke sweater. So I haven't gotten to the third color yet. I was trying. It's just the yoke.
You made good progress on it.
Yeah, I'm almost to that third color that's in the middle of the yoke, but this is my third color. So this is all in my yarn. I don't know if you can see this color very well. This base is my BFL mohair, and I love it. It is really incredible for color work because you know how when you're knitting color work and you knit into a row where you were like going back and forth between two colors, you knit into a stitch and it kind of pulls it because of the floats. So this yarn is nice and like sticky to itself, so it doesn't like yank out the stitch a lot that you're knitting into.
That's good.
Yeah, so and like your floats stay put because they're like nice and it just sticks to itself. I don't know if you can like, I can like wrap it just like this and it just kind of stays.
Yeah, it's a nice woolly wool.
Yes, I really enjoy it. I have another sweater knit out of it, but this is going to be put away for a while because we have a knit along in, I think starting in September, that's just going to be any color work sweater. Knit along. I would like to work on it now, but I just wanted to show everybody. So the colors that I'm using, this is my BFL mohair. It's a fingering weight yarn, very woolly. I don't think it's prickly. I love wearing it next to skin, but if you're a total baby and only knit with cashmere, it might not be for you. Colors I'm using, this is Pitch, the almost black. I don't know if you can see, it has like, it's like black with like a hint of a brown halo almost.
It looks like a really deep chocolate, like almost like a black sheep, like the natural fleece color.
Yeah,
it looks like that a lot.
That's what that looks like. So it's mostly black, but in certain lights it's got like brown tones to it. And then this light color is called Patronus. It's not white. I've shown it before. It's like a light grayish, warm, also cool. I don't know. It's an off-white and it goes with everything. And then this color that I haven't added in yet is olive, and I'm obsessed with it. But yeah.
It'll be a good combination.
I'm super excited. And I don't have like any black clothing, so this is going to be, it's going to be good. I feel like I need more black clothes.
How has it been knitting very dark yarn like that? Because a lot of people complain about it, and it's not something I'd ever really thought about, like
It's
knitting
not
black.
bad. I did drop a couple of stitches just because I think I was messing with the needles, and I ended up
Oh,
seeing it just because the color work was off. I was like, what happened here? And then I looked and I dropped a stitch, but I don't know that it wouldn't have happened with a lighter color yarn. Um, I don't know. I don't have a particularly difficult time seeing. So it can be kind of annoying, but I don't personally find it that challenging.
okay.
It wouldn't put me off, obviously.
Right.
Okay, so I really only have 3 whips that I'm working on. I have like other older ones that I need to like get out and start working on them, but they're kind of in hibernation for the moment.
Hmm.
So this last one I just started yesterday, and this is our knit along that just started yesterday. So we are doing Love Note by Tin Can Knits. I am 4 rows into the chart. I don't know if you can see this very well.
Yeah, you can see it. It looks good.
Going out. So this yarn is hand spun by Gwen Aaron, Natural Fibers. Hold on.
She's from Ohio
Yes.
too, right? Okay.
Yep.
Hubbard, Ohio.
She has a shop in Hubbard, Ohio. She has a lot of spinning equipment and fiber. She sells some of her hand spun rather, and yeah, she's really cool. She was my neighbor actually at the Autumn Fiber Fest in Ashland, Ohio in October, which I will be at again this year. This is a fiber content, whole work silk, and then Shetland and alpaca. So I should have enough to do a short sleeve version. We'll see. But yeah, so it has that quality of hand spun where it sort of stripes a little bit as the colors change. It's subtle though, because it's all pretty monotone. It's kind of like marled together,
Yeah.
one green and one browny one. It's super pretty, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm on like the 4th round, I think, of the chart, and you have to do the chart twice, and it's 10 rounds.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No. So yeah, it's going, and it's a pretty big gauge. It's 16 stitches over 4 inches. So
yeah,
I'm using size 9 needles. It calls for a 10, but I always knit loosely apparently, so I didn't swatch. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Have you started yours yet?
I did. I have only gotten like 4 rounds in, so
It's just
it's a tiny little thing. You can't really see much of anything. So I am marling these 2 skeins together. It is a skein of the green, the turquoise. It's Patina from Hey Lady Hey, who is unfortunately no longer dying, but these are skeins I got from her in a D-stash when they moved last year. So I'm marling that with these skeins that I found in my stash. Now, the label is long gone. However, if I remember correctly, this is a Peruvian wool and alpaca blend, and it's kind of between like a lace weight and a fingering weight. And the pattern's written for lace and fingering held double or sport or the equivalent or whatever. So I swatched a little bit for it, which I'm not much of a swatcher usually, so I was very proud of myself for swatching this time. And the size that I'm knitting is not really the size that I wanted to knit because it's like 10 inches of positive ease, which is a little bit more than I usually like. So I sized down on the needles, and I'm usually a tight knitter, so I'm knitting it a little more tightly than I usually would. So hopefully it will block in between 2 sizes that I would prefer. So I had originally bought some Surrey silk alpaca for it and swatched and then broke out in hives from it. So this is going to be mailed to you shortly because I am not going to use this at all.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's alpaca that I have a sensitive sensitivity to or what. There's alpaca in this dark skein that I'm using, but it doesn't bother me as much. I think it's just like these super soft, like baby fine yarns I have a very hard time with. They make me very itchy or break out in hives. So alas, it was not meant to be, but that's okay. You live, you learn.
Yeah.
Watch that, and I like the color that it's giving me, the dark with the green.
I am super excited to see how this looks with the lace.
Yeah. This is, I think, the first time. Well, I've knit a dark purple sweater, but this is like one of the darker things that I've knit before too. So
excited to see that on you.
Yeah. Green is not usually something that I knit up. I'm like purple, pink, white, yellow, those kinds of colors. So.
I think I knit always has something green in it, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my works in progress currently. We cast that on yesterday was our cast on date, and it's going until do you know?
The 15th of March.
Okay.
The Ides of March.
What? We have make 9 of knit-alongs planned for the whole year. All of them Larissa has listed on our Ravelry group homepage, so the list is there with all the dates and everything right there. Put it over that one. There, perfect.
There.
So yeah, that's on our Ravelry page if you want to go check it out. We have dates for everything. We did like Rustbelt Hippies make 9, and we have our own personal make 9s. We have a little bit of overlapping, but we had to be realistic. So
yeah. The next one shouldn't start before our next episode. The next one, so this one goes from February 1st to March 15th. The next one starts March 19th, which is a weekender knit along.
Yes, I'm excited for that. I've been wanting to knit one like since it came out, and it came out in 2017, I think.
Really?
I didn't even knit then. I wasn't even a knitter. I was just like, one day I'll learn how to knit.
Is it that long ago?
Yeah, when I looked it up to see when it was published, I should look it up again. Maybe it was 2018, but I think it was.
I don't know. I'm not a very good. I don't know when it is ever, and like the years fly by. I've had 2 babies in the last 4 years, so I have complete blackouts of time. But anyway, the weekender will be March, April, May. So it'll be a relatively fast one. It'll be 2 full months. But we figured it's a worsted weight sweater.
Yeah.
And you're really going to want to actually wear it.
Right. We wanted to have it done before it got too warm to wear, basically. Or at least to have it done in time to wear for the fall.
Yeah.
You don't have to knit it over the summertime when it's hot.
Yeah.
It came out in November 2017.
Wow. Okay.
Or 2 years ago. She's very prolific, that Andrea Mowry. She puts out patterns like several a month. It's hard to keep up with.
I know. I can't believe it was that long ago already.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Do you have yarn for that one picked out already?
Yes. I have, I think it was like 8 skeins or something from it's Green Mountain Spinnery Weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the color chestnut. I can grab it right now and show it to you. They're 140 yards, 128 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is colorway chestnut.
Nice color.
It's a little bit more brown. It's looking really fire engine red on here.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like that. I'm excited.
That'll be really nice.
This is so nice. My mittens are made out of these. I have mittens from the Speedy Selbu mittens by Skein Deer. I have made out of this, and it holds up really well. Unlike Scotty's mittens that I made out of a pretty soft DK, and they're like completely felted. I think they like shrunk a bunch somehow.
Aww.
He needs new mittens that are made out of something a little bit more hardy.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm really excited for that one.
I am too. That one's been like a long time coming, so it'll be nice to get that one done and have it.
To get that started.
I have 2 more works in progress to show.
All right.
No, I have been knitting a bunch of things that are not on my Make 9 at all. I just have like a list of 30 things that I want to knit this year. It's between like 30 and 40, so I'm like doing my best. It's overkill, but whatever. Whatever I get done, I get done. So I'm knitting a second FELIX pullover for myself in this like heathery lilac color. Because I have a purple one that I made. It's cropped to wear over dresses, and I really enjoy that one a lot. It's another worsted weight sweater. It goes super fast. I cast this on 2 weeks ago, and I'm on the ribbing on the front. I modified the hem a little bit, so I'm going to do a split hem on this. So I'm doing the ribbing on the front bottom, have to do the back, and then sleeves, and that's it. So it'll probably be done by the end of the week. And I would recommend this pattern to anyone. I love it. It's so nice and quick and mindless once you get past the little yarn over raglan increases. I like how lacy it looks. It's
so cute.
It's nice for just like a simple, workhorse pullover.
Yeah, I have one on my Make 9 too. The only thing I have done from my Make 9 is Scotty's COWL. But next up from my Make 9 is a bulky hat for Jason. So I'm going to like get that done in a day.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Be like,
right? I don't even remember what I put on my Make 9 at this point because I had so many things that I wanted to that I had to edit off of it. So that is not on my Make 9. Geez, my other whip is not on my Make 9 either. This one has not gotten very far. This is a Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May. And this is in yarn by Ex Libris. She's a librarian and she does wonderful literary inspired colorways that I really love. So this one is called Oathbreaker, and I have a couple other I have 4 skeins of that, and then I'm going to fade the bottom into this, which is Dracula.
Are your stitches twisted on that at the top too? Did you have to do any?
Just the short rows. This was before I realized that I was twisting it. So it's just the short rows. It's like 4 rows. It's not really that bad.
Fun, interesting texture.
Yeah, basically. So it's not too bad. This is going to be for my husband. He doesn't know that yet, but I cast it on and I was like, I think this will be good for him. So it's cozy. It's a superwash yarn. Which again is not my favorite, but I thought like for him especially, he'll be a little bit harder on it than I will. So it'll be good for him. It'll hold up well. And if it stretches out a little bit, then so be it. Doesn't matter. It can be just a cozy pullover. So, but yeah, I have
her yarn too.
I love her colorways. I just like can't stop buying them. I have another one that I'm gonna make my daughter a sweater out of, and she started a monthly yarn club called the Spectral Collection, which is yarn based off of horror or thriller stories or novels that have been out. And the first one was Frankenstein. So the yarn is called My Hideous Progeny, which I am appropriately going to knit my daughter a sweater out of because she's my little hideous progeny. I mean, she's cute, but So,
yeah, I have 3 skeins of her yak sock yarn that I'm going to make myself some socks out of. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that like wears and works up. I have a skein of yak sock that I had gotten from Sweet Sparrow Knits, but I haven't used it yet because I'm like trying to figure out what I want to use it for.
Yeah.
So it looks nice.
It does. All right. I think, was that your last?
The other one that I have, it's one I had showed in like our first episode that I just finally picked up again. It's my I Smell Snow shawl by Melody Hoffman. And it's 4 skeins of fingering weight yarn, so it's a lot of garter and not quick moving, but it's a nice mindless project to have in the back. I'm almost done with the first skein finally, so I picked that up. I haven't touched it since like November, and it's been sitting looking at me sadly. So that's all. That's all of them.
All right. Well then, let's move on to Hippie Demerits and Gold Stars.
Yes.
It is your turn for a demerit.
It is my turn for a demerit, and we were talking about this before we started, and God knows I've done a million things wrong, but I seriously am just like blanking on coming up with something for myself. Like there are numerous things that I could choose from, but Like I run the water too long when I brush my teeth, or just like simple things like that are terrible, and I need to be more mindful of on a daily basis as opposed to like one big thing. So maybe that's my demerit, that there are small things that I need to improve upon every day. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Sorry. It's not a great one, but it's true.
Yeah. I know. There's just like little things that every time I do it, I'm like, man, I gotta be better. But then I don't.
Yeah. I know.
Well, I have a gold star. It's not for me personally, but it's for the county that we live in. I live in Cuyahoga County, which is where Cleveland is in the city that I live in. And recently they have instituted a plastic bag ban.
Hooray!
At all grocery stores and whatever else. I'm not entirely sure. Not to say that none of them have plastic bags anymore. I think they have to pay a fine if they do have plastic bags, but there are paper bags, and paper bags are kind of annoying to deal with, so it's more incentive, I think, to bring your reusable bags to the store, because I don't need 6 gigantic paper bags every time we come home from the store, which I'm sure I could find a use for them. Although I did use plastic bags to like line little trash cans and for cleaning out litter boxes. Run out of those. I guess I'm going to have to figure out a better way.
You can use the paper bags for the litter boxes too.
Yeah,
not for lining them necessarily, but for cleaning them out.
Yeah, they're so big though.
They are. That's the problem.
I guess. I don't know. I've yet to find a perfect solution for dealing with cleaning out the litter boxes, by the way. Like, I've tried biodegradable bags, and they kind of melt before
God.
Yeah, so I guess I would have to carry it directly to the outside bin, which I usually do, but I had, like, kept it, like, in a larger garbage can and tended to, like, bring all of that out at once. But since the cat pee and stuff is still moist, it like starts to break down the biodegradable.
Yeah.
It was gross. It could have worked in theory, but it just didn't. And plus, they're not terribly strong, and sometimes you have like a lot of pee clumps in there, and it's just. Sorry for talking about my cats, but it's a real issue I deal with every day.
For anyone that has pets or a cat, it's like that. That or like my cat is constantly scratching holes in the bag that's in her litter box. Like, I don't know. Cats have claws. It happens. But there's like always holes or something. So I'm like, cool. Now I have to double bag this to take it out. Yeah.
Well. So, hooray for fewer plastic bags floating around the environment.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a good thing that it's going to force people to figure out how to deal with less plastic, because there are definitely things in the world that need plastic. I don't think grocery shopping is one of them.
No. And honestly, the bags always rip anyway. They're always double bagging everything at the grocery store because they cannot stand up to it. So
I have to throw out half of them. Like, I try and find one to use for cleaning out the litter box, and I go through like 3 of them and have to throw them away because they have holes in them. That's not going to work.
Our grocery store recently started a program where you can bring all the single-use plastic bags back and they'll recycle them. I'm not sure how or where they're sending them to, but like the produce bags and stuff like that, they're going to be doing that. So it's a small step.
A couple of them have like big like bins where you can, like, there's a hole cut out in the front and you can stuff like a bunch of plastic bags in them.
Yeah.
Recycling, which is, I guess, better than not. Though I don't know how environmentally friendly the recycling process is for plastic.
Right.
So eventually less plastic is always going to be your best bet.
Right.
Anywho, I wanted to move on to a different subject. I don't know that we've really done this before on here in the last 3 episodes, but I wanted to talk about a few natural beauty brands.
Yeah.
So I use a couple of brands for makeup and skincare. Some of my skincare, I do homemade stuff. I do homemade lotion. made out of grass-fed beef tallow, shea butter, coconut oil, and olive oil. And I have other more natural products that I buy other stuff from. But I have two brands that sell makeup and skincare that I've been using. So one is Beauty Counter. I haven't bought a lot from them. I mostly have bought like baby soap and lotion, and they have kid soap and shampoo, which is good. The baby stuff is completely unfragranced, and then the kid shampoo is like sort of citrusy, and it's good and it works fine. This is eye cream. You can see that. I wanted to try it out. I've never used an eye cream before, but yeah, they sell makeup and shampoo and stuff and lotions and whatever. So that's one brand that I use, and another one is 100% Pure. Can you see that? It's got a big glare on it.
It's because of the way the camera is and we're split screen. Yeah, there you go.
Whatever. It's 100% Pure. This is mascara. This is the Maracuja oil mascara. The other one, they have one that's like a lengthening one, which works really, really well, but it has wheat in it, and it makes my eyes puff up because I'm allergic to gluten, which was really depressing because it works incredibly well. This one's okay, but yeah, it's colored from black tea leaves. They have a couple different colors. This is the black tea one, but yeah, they have like a brown one and a purpley one. Maybe they have a ton of different like eyeshadow palettes if you're into that. I barely wear makeup. I wear like under eye concealer and a little bit of blush, and sometimes I put mascara on. But I've been buying from them for a while. I use shampoo and conditioner from them and all of my makeup. They have a really nice it's called Bamboo Blur. It's just like a powder it's completely colorless, but it just makes you a little bit less shiny.
That's nice.
Yeah, because I don't really like I don't really put anything on my
face makeup. Yeah.
I have really dry skin, so I need a lot of moisturizer on my skin, but it can make me shiny, so I just put a little bit of that like on the areas that I'm shiny, and it really helps. So there you have it for a couple of natural makeup and skincare brands.
Thank you. That was nice. I appreciate that because I've been looking for new stuff too, so that's very helpful.
Yeah, we can talk about more stuff in more episodes. I have a couple of things that I do that are a bit more natural and waste-free that I just don't think about anymore because I've been doing them for so long. Like I use Dr. Bronner's concentrated soap for like spray cleaner, and I use it for foaming hand soap too. Mm-hmm. So there's that. I can talk more about that on another episode, but so yeah. And do you have anything else to mention on that front?
I don't think I do. I think we just have shop news next if you would like to talk about shop stuff.
Well, why don't you go first?
So I have brought back my annual Botanicals monthly naturally dyed yarn and charm club finally after a 3-month hiatus. I really haven't dyed anything since like November. But the club has been closed since October. So finally it is back for the month of February. Pre-orders are closed for it now. But the theme is How Sweet It Is. So it's going to be for Valentine's Day. And I have a lot of fun stuff planned for that. So I think I am going to have a March club. We'll see about April and May. Usually what I like to do is for that month, I like to dye the yarn with something that can be foraged or found or dried within that time. So like the summer, it's much easier than the winter time. But this year I'm going to use wilted Valentine's Day bouquets. And so I've been buying, they're not specifically Valentine's Day, but I've been buying like the discounted super wilty bouquets at the stores lately. So I'm going to be using those to dye the yarn with. So
cool.
I think it'll be fun. And then I also am planning to hopefully have out by Valentine's Day a collection of minis. I've been dyeing minis up. It's going to be on a Karenina themed. So I really love Anna Karenina. It's one of my favorite love stories, even though it's super depressing and very Russian. Just the way I like it. So I'm going to have an Anna Karenina themed mini update, probably on Valentine's Day is my goal. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's all, of course, naturally dyed and non-superwash wool. So
Yay.
I think that's all I have.
Cool. Okay. So Fuzzy Green Fibers shop update. I also am starting a club. This will be my first time.
I'm so excited.
Sign-ups closed for the February club yesterday, but it is a yarn, charm, and tea club. The club is called Professor Trelawney's Divination Club. So Professor Trelawney is the divination teacher from Harry Potter, for those of you who are uninitiated into the Harry Potter world.
They're just not yet sorted. They don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, I haven't been sorted into your house yet. So the club will be, I have 3 bases of yarn of, what did I do, 3? No, 4.
4.
I had 4 options of bases, and you could do either a single skein or a sock set. And then, so it will all be based around a central theme for the month. For February, I did health and wellness because February, I don't know why people keep thinking about spring when it's February, but it's still dead winter.
Yeah.
Like, can we knock it off with the spring talk until, like, things start growing?
Yeah, like April maybe.
Yeah, so, like, right now I have a cold. This is why I chose this theme for this month. So health and wellness, I'm thinking, so the tea ingredients are all immune boosters, and it does end up being pink for those of you who enjoy Valentine's Day. And the yarn will be based on, it'll be inspired by the colors from the tea ingredients. So I'm really...
And you blended the tea yourself. It's not a pre-blended one. It's one that you've made specifically for it.
Got all organic tea ingredients, and I'm blending it myself for you. So the club contains the yarn of your choosing, and then the tea blend. It'll be about an ounce of loose leaf tea. This month is all herbs, all herbal, so there's no actual tea in it, I guess. It's an herbal tea. And then a charm, and then a couple of extras to complete it. There will be a different extra each month, just so you know, but I'm really excited.
I'm excited too. You've been talking about doing this for so long, so I'm very excited that it has come to fruition.
Yes, so I'll be dyeing the yarn this week and getting everything else put together, and they will ship out mid-February. And then sign-ups for the March Club will begin probably mid-February also, pretty much. They'll be open for probably 2 weeks. And then I think the March Club theme is going to be like youth and new beginnings, like that, because it'll be actual spring.
Right.
On the 20-something or other of March. So sign up for my newsletter and you'll get more information on that when it happens. But so that's the club. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So these have been in the shop for a while, but I retired a couple of colorways, 3 of which I designed to be a perfect fade with each other. And they're not retired because I don't like them. I have a sweater made out of these, but they're a bit more labor intensive than I intended for them to be. So I may refashion the way that I dye them eventually. But for your benefit, they are permanently marked down at 30% until they sell. And I have packaged a couple of them in sets of 3. So if you want to buy a set of 3 or buy a set of 3 and some other extraneous skeins for something, they're marked down a lot. They're very pretty. I made a rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry out of this, and then mauve, which is, it's the base of this pink color. So there's these.
They're beautiful. I love that fade.
Yeah, you
which
just
you
got.
very kindly just sent to me to make a sweater out of. So.
And so, speaking of the retired colorways, I have some pre-made sock tubes.
Very nice.
I have 3 left. They're all on retired colorways. I have 2 bases here. This is Hermione. This is on the high twist merino sock, or high twist merino tencel. This is 15% tencel, and all 3 of these are 64 stitches in circumference. I feel like it's a pretty popular circumference for people to use for socks.
Mm-hmm.
And then these 2 are part of that fade. This one is Jenna Maroney. This one is high twist merino. This is probably my favorite sock base that I have right now. And 64 stitches, and this one is high twist merino as well. This is muffin top. So these are just a big long tube. If you don't know what a sock tube is, I have a circular sock machine. I just crank it around and around, and it knits, and I can make socks on it as well. But if you want to hand knit heels, toes, and cuffs into it, it cuts out about 85% of the work for you. And since these are discounted, these are like $25 or something a pop. So you're getting a lot of work done for you.
Yes, for not much money.
At a steep discount.
Yeah.
And on the topic of the sock machine, if you want a sock tube in any of my fingering weight bases, it costs $7. That is all.
It's nothing to get it cranked.
Yeah.
Just so you all know, that's not much.
Yeah. People charge a lot for that. So I have several fingering weight bases. If you want a tube for making headbands, I can do it at a looser gauge. If you want it nice and tight for socks, that I can do. I have 3 different circumference cylinders. I have a 60, 64, and 72. They're pretty popular. Obviously, some do smaller, some do bigger, but if you want to buy me a cylinder, that would be great. They're several $100s a piece. Anyway, that is a unique feature that I have in my shop.
Excuse me.
So, last but not least, I have mini skein sets, and I'm obsessed with them.
Yes, because they're beautiful. And what are they themed after?
So, these are Outlander, the TV show / book, which I just started last night, the book. So these are one of a kind. I just had some extra dye sitting around, and that was the basis of them, and then I embellished them on top of the dye. Which side can you see?
Keep it right in front of you, and then we can see it right there. Yep.
So there's 5 of them. They're all 20 grams. They are on 3 bases. I have, God bless you. I have high twist. This is the high twist merino sock. This is so squishy, you guys. I think I'm going to keep this. Please buy it so I don't. I have no plans for it. It's just going to sit on my shelf and be pretty. But, so, yeah, the high twist merino, the high twist merino tencel, and I did DK, the BFL DK, which is so silky smooth. I love that base. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, there's 5 different colors. This one is, oh God, what is it? This is Cregna Dune.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dance of the Druids. This is Sasana. This is Highlander. And this is Battle of Culloden. So,
nice.
There's still a couple left, somehow.
Somebody snapped a bunch of them up already, too, didn't they? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somebody bought 2 of them, which I'm excited about. I know what she's going to do with those, and it's going to be real pretty.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that's about it for the shop update since last time. I don't think I've really added a ton of other just full skeins of yarn. Ooh, this cat is sitting on me and my legs are falling asleep. Yeah, I think that about does it.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Just the love note that we talked about. If anyone wants to join in on the love note, Cal, that would be wonderful. I'm going to try and have mine done for Valentine's Day. We'll see.
Ooh, I know. I hit on it so much yesterday. I'm like, I'm just gonna get this done in like a week. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's super loose gauge and it's not much yardage, so it should ideally go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Ideally. We'll see.
All right.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining. And we'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
See
See you later.